Hey everyone. Yeah, it's an honor to have Jason from Story Protocol come join David and me for this podcast. It's actually the first kind of AMA opinion I ever did. So it's really an honor to have Jason here and do this.
The first public, yeah.
Yeah.
Internal ones.
Yes.
Discord.
Yeah. So maybe I'll have Jason introduce himself and then we introduce ourselves and then we'll get
Great.
started.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks, Bill and David, for having me on. It's an honor to be the first guest. And I think with my performance, it'll hopefully only be uphill from here. So I try to set a low bar for everyone that they can easily cross. But anyways, no, I'm just joking. But thank you guys again for having me. It's a real pleasure. And I'm a big fan of what PinAI is doing. So just a bit background of me. The reason I say that is because I actually started off my career at DeepMinds, and I'm still obsessed with AI, and I think it has such potential for humanity, but also such risk as well, right? And I feel like right now we're sort of in this like 5 to 10 year range where we are at a historical inflection point, and the actions that we all take as technologists do have a big outcome on whether we go down that happy path or something that's maybe not as great. And so I think what Pin is doing is really exciting, and what Story is doing is sort of related, which is, in this new Napster moment where content is now being distributed globally, you can reach 1 to 10 million people with a single click on TikTok or on Twitter for free. And now you have generative AI adding fuel to the fire, right? You have the ability for everyone to not only reach the entire world with a single click for free, but also to have a Hollywood studio in their phone, in their bedroom, right? And so everyone in the world is a creator. And now a lot of that creativity is coming forth on the internet. You're seeing things like Drake and The Weeknd's remix. They're just using their voices. You have Harry Potter in the style of Balenciaga getting 10 million views on YouTube. And these are all really exciting experiments. But at the same time, just like with Napster, we have no idea how to properly compensate the people and the humans that are generating their voice, their style, all these interesting artistic outputs. And so what Story is really focused on is using blockchains for something beyond finance and beyond money, which is to provide a new type of almost like IP system or legal system where people can register their content, their style, their voice, their image, their likeness on Story and set the terms for how others can use it in a programmatic way. And so essentially an AI can train on your data, but it knows exactly how much it needs to compensate you, whether that's a revenue share or an upfront fee. And any other creator tool or consumer app or even social media app can also leverage content from around the world that's registered on Story in their app. And so it's kind of this composable global IP graph that we're building. And obviously the biggest use case for us is AI, because right now no one really understands how do we create a sustainable future where both, we can have OpenAI and other large model companies be able to generate the best models in the world, but also to give creators their fair share, right? So that's kind of what Story is focused on.
Yeah, cool. Maybe David, you can introduce us.
Yep.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with Jason and Bill. I'm David. I'm one of the co-founder of PinAI. So we are building this personal AI network. That's how we think about it, where basically you have like a personal AI, which is your own model that as a user you own. It has access to all your context. And then basically it can serve queries that you have, or it can help you find a match with any type of agent AI services out there, helping you with intent formation is like from your query to a structured intent, and then with routing, and then we have this blockchain protocol that basically it does intent matching. So it's quite interesting. I was thinking about there is a lot of complementarities with Story as well. I see on one hand, this is kind of a huge green field in front of both of our projects, right? Mm-hmm. Because traditionally, what blockchain applications are trying to do is basically do some innovation on DeFi, for example, where there is already huge industry and system, regulated system already built, and you are trying to kind of innovate a little bit at the fringes. Maybe have some efficiency gain that sometimes is 10x efficiency over DeFi. Then you can list assets very cheaply,
right?
But you still have this big incumbent that you either disrupt or you hit against. So now it's basically a Story is in front all this new green field of new IP that gets generated with AI. And similarly, we have this new paradigm of the internet where like it's basically populated of all these smart agents that offer services directly or on behalf of someone else. And that's, I think, where we can basically use these permissionless protocols to like build it better, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited for this job.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Bill. I'm another co-founder of PinAI, and yeah, I have been working on AI for the last more than 10 years. And one thing I really was like obsessed throughout my PhD research is actually like how to price data. Like it's actually one of the unsolvable problems, because before you touch the data, you actually cannot understand like what's the value of data. And like I think the way that Story and PinAI are like two separate angles that can have very good complementary views on like how to price data. In terms of Story, it's more like view it from IP angle, and then if you train on that data, like how much value the model can have. In terms of PinAI, we are more focusing on if we use the data as contextual data for inference, like how much additional like value can we generate by like adding this personalization layer, by like having our model know the person much better than the old way. We also have a way to measure the value of data. So the PinAI approach is probably more close to how, say, like Facebook ads marketplace, or like say TikTok, say video recommendation measure the value of data. And I think the Story way is like a natural progression of the traditional kind of like the IP is like a Disney way of like looking at data and looking at kind of like how valuable things are. So I think there is a good merging angle. For example, one merging angle I saw is Facebook has this experiment, right? Like Mark Zuckerberg is really rich, so he can get all the celebrities to be like making personal AI stuff. He can have like a Snoop Dogg created like a AI chatbot that is like a Snoop Dogg's kind of slightly more personalized version with some prompt and their sound. So I think that is an angle that I can see. It's almost like the experiment that is like an intersection of Story's view and PinAI's view. Like, create a personal AI that has all your, it's like a Snoop Dogg's IP, right? His voice, his sound, even the prompt. It's kind of like his IP.
Right.
So it's very interesting that I think in the future, there would be a lot of strong intersections of like PinAI.
100%. And I think one of the most obvious is what you just mentioned, which is that I think the next Drake, the next Snoop Dogg, the next big artist even, right? The next Disney is going to be someone that knows how to lean into AI rather than someone that's trying to opt out, right? It is important to me that people have the ability to opt out. That's only fair, but I really do think in terms of commercial success, imagine if you put your voice on Story and maybe, you know, it's your sort of PinAI personal AI, but then you can actually scale that to the world. So anyone can create, if you have a million fans around the world, like maybe 10% of them are actually really, really good at songwriting and much better than you, right? So now they can leverage your voice, create much better songs than you could create as an artist, and then monetize and distribute it. And they have skin in the game to advertise for you on your behalf, right? So I think we're just going to see the new generation of like AI powered arts and IP overtake the existing siloed model, which is basically like one creator, right? And maybe they have a team, but imagine if you could just turn your IP into a network. That's the really powerful aspiration.
And I think the future of art is not only the traditional art format of like a sound, like image or a video. I feel like the future of art can even be like this interactive bot, right? I feel like character AI or like the meta experiment is all only scratch the surface by just giving different prompts. But I think in the future, when the AI that truly have your streaming updated personal data, it can be like a kind of AI that is like your best girlfriend or like your best personal assistant that is be with you 24 hours, both solve problem with you and offer like emotional values to you. And those can be like one of your favorite celebrity. I think that's kind of a world that we are working into. Whether Story are successful, PinAI are successful, I think that's kind of a deterministic path that I see it will go to.